We continue with the program and staying here in Africa. For chocolate lovers, what's your skills like in making chocolates? Now, in Cairo's Lifi Madi neighborhood, a chocolate shop is offering young customers a culinary experience as part of skills development. Let's watch this.
Children from as young as 4 can learn chocolate making techniques, from coloring chocolate to making different shapes and figures. Chocolatier and shop owner Magdi Ahmed teaches the chocolate making classes. It says they offer young people a different kind of educational experience.
Chocolate is fascinating to everyone, and people come here to have fun. But school trips usually have a more educational goal because in class we usually explain the chemistry behind it and give geographical information as well, where it grows and what weather conditions are suitable for cocoa to grow.
Ahmed was taught the arts of chocolate making by his father-in-law in France. In 2012, he returned to Egypt where he made chocolate from his home, eventually opening his own confectionery shop in 2014. Ahmed begins each class by talking about cocoa and where it is grown. Children then have the opportunity to get involved, melting chocolate and painting it using natural food coloring. One mother whose son has taken part in the class said it is a beneficial experience for children.
If young children aren't given the chance to do something useful with their free time, they'll focus all of their energy on negative things. So instead of wasting their time playing video games on their mobile phones or watching television, at least here they can create something useful, something artistic, and something which tastes good.
I made chocolate and learned how to make chocolate, and now I know where it comes from.
And the children don't need to wait too long to sample the creations, with the chocolate only needing to stay in the fridge for 10 minutes. Classes at Ganache take place every day, and each session lasts for 2 hours. The classes cost 125 Egyptian pounds, the equivalent of just under $16 US. The chocolates on offer here comes in a variety of flavors, including mango, orange, lemon.
Away from Africa, Iran's economy is expected to grow with the lifting of sanctions. Iran becomes the biggest economy to rejoin the global trading system since the collapse of the Soviet Union. Analysts think a third of Iranian industry was left by sanctions over this decade. Industries can now start churning back to life. It's a market of 80 million people with an annual output of some $400 billion. Meanwhile, Iranian sailors that trade foreign goods between Dubai and Iran have hailed the lifting of sanctions on Iran, saying the historic step will bring greater economic prosperity to the region.
Iran ended years of economic isolation when world powers lifted the crippling sanctions against the Islamic Republic on Saturday in return for Tehran complying with a deal to curb its nuclear ambitions.
Iranians see the lifting of sanctions as good for them. It's good for everyone. Lifting of sanctions is good for the Iranian people, and it's good for the government. We had a problem with sanctions. We traded less, our imports and exports were down. With the lifting of sanctions, our trade now will gradually increase.
For more than a century, the traditional dough of the Arabian Gulf have carried goods and foodstuff from the Dubai Creek in the heart of Dubai's historic trading center to neighboring countries and beyond. And though modern-day shipping and state-of-the-art ports have replaced much of the trade that once sprung from the Dubai Creek, this historic waterway remains vital to Dubai's commercial interests, with some 24,000 traditional doughs sailing from its waterways every year, carrying a wide variety of commercial goods and food items, mainly to Iran.
We hope things get better. There's more active trade. People can move freely and make money.
Trade on the Dubai Creek began sometime around 1875, but took off in full force after 1903 to become the center of trade in the Arabian Gulf. Most of the sailors and captains today are Iranians, having passed on the skills of the trade from generation to generation over the last century. Tens of billions of dollars worth of Iranian assets will now be unfrozen And global companies that have been barred from doing business in Iran will be able to exploit a market hungry for everything, from automobiles to airplane parts.
And that's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimeze Obiwago. Have a good afternoon.